WVU women's tennis team is celebrating their 50-year anniversary this year, and they have been serving down teams one by one to start this season. The WVU football team is entering spring practice this month, and with a much experienced roster returning, they will look to capitalize off their best season yet in the Neil Brown era, right here at Milan Puskar Stadium.
I'm Tanner Inyard, and West Virginia women's basketball is celebrating their 50th season of competition this year, and they're having a lot of success on and off the court.
I'm Terrell Thompson, and WVU women's tennis is breaking records in their 50th season as well. We'll have those stories for you coming up next. Brown and his coaching staff are working extensively this spring to prepare for the upcoming season. I was able to go to the football practice facility for an intense preseason prep. The WVU women's tennis team is off to a historic start. I'm Terrell Thompson, and I'll have that story coming up. I'm Terrell Thompson, and coming up on WVU News, I'll take you behind the scenes of live sports broadcasting at WVU and show you what happens at seats like this one. And Tanner, the Mountaineers have accomplished a lot over the past 50 years, winning multiple conference championships and 10 WNBA draft picks. And none of that could have been done without superior coaching. WVU men's basketball newest transfers Kurt Carissa, Jesse Edwards, and Raekwon Battle have faced lots of adversity this year and are looking to change things full swing by having their first full lineup back this week. I'm Terrell Thompson, and after the break, I'll give you a sneak peek of the success that the WVU women's tennis team has been bringing to these courts that you see right behind me. Coming up on WVU News, I'm Terrell Thompson, and I'll tell you about an event that is returning to the Coliseum for the first time in 3 years. Saturdays and the Blue Light are approaching, and the WVU football team is getting prepared for their spring practices this month. I'm Terrell Thompson, and I'll have that story for you coming up next. I'm Terrell Thompson, and after the break, I'll show you how WVU Athletics is bringing TV viewership to sports around campus on a device like this one. Coming up on WVU News, I'm Terrell Thompson, and I'll tell you about WVU football team's first official spring practice. Coming up on WVU News, I'm Terrell Thompson, and I'll tell you about the new ways that WVU Athletics is growing their TV viewership for sports around campus. WVU women's tennis is having an historic season and an anniversary year, and their coach says they will try to continue their streak of success to finish off the season strong. Coach Neil Brown will have 14 practices through April 25th before playing the annual Golden Blue Spring Game at Milan Puskar Stadium on Saturday, April 27th at noon.
Spring is here, and that means the 2024 football season is approaching. WVU head coach Neil Brown is excited to start this season and feels that the Mountaineers still have a lot to prove.
My assumption is that we're not going to be picked first or second, so it's not like that we're going to have these humongous expectations on us. So we're still going to be in a prove it mode.
The Mountaineers finished off last season on a huge high as they won the Duke's Mayo Bowl against North Carolina. As the WVU football team heads into spring ball practices, they will look to make an impact one day at a time with an all-around complete roster that's to cause hectic in the first year of the newly revamped Big 12 Conference.
The WVU football team is entering spring practice this month, and with a much experienced roster returning, they will look to capitalize off their best season yet in the Neil Brown era, right here at Milan Puskar Stadium.
The Mountaineers are led by junior quarterback Garrett Green, and he looks to take this team to new heights while being listed as one of the top quarterbacks in the country.
Just keeping the main thing. Last year I was focused on helping this team win, and this year that's my main goal as well. I have to get better. Last year was an all right year. I didn't perform at the level I thought I should have. So that's what this offseason's kind of been about.
Green is looking to build off his preseason accomplishments this upcoming season. WVU women's tennis team has started their season with a 11-3 record and have had their best start to a season since 1986. WVU WVU women's tennis head coach Miha Liza has established a complete roster that features players from 9 different countries.
I think it's great. I think it's a result of a lot of work that the players have put in. You know, we've started with the group that we have in place about 3 years ago now, and they've come a long way.
The Mountaineers women's tennis team is entering Big 12 competition this week, and as competition strengthens, they will try to carry on their continued success.
It's been really exciting to see, especially for me, not being able to play and actually be physically on the court, but being there, experiencing this success so far.
WVU women's tennis team is celebrating their 50-year anniversary this year, and they have been serving down teams one by one to start this season.
The Mountaineers are led by Momoko Nagato, and she has started this season with a 11-2 record in singles play and has completely dominated all season. Momoko looks to carry that on as she faces a rigid schedule down the stretch in the Big 12.
For me, it's kind of tough because every week we'll play against a really, really good team.
WVU women's tennis will look to continue their amazing run this year and celebrate this historic season during senior week at the end of this season.
The Mountaineers rolled into their 2023 season facing lots of ups and downs. They started their season with an 8-14 record and have struggled tremendously this season. The Mountaineers knocked off high-ranked Kansas and Texas in back-to-back games this season. WVU head coach Josh Eilert is excited to get things rolling with the roster that he wanted since day one.
I preach to the guys, we got to have that discipline. We got to build that consistency from game to game. So yeah, we can be dangerous on the way out.
3 of WVU's newest transfers have come back and stepped up big, and their presence has been missed all around the court. WVU men's basketball newest transfers Kurt Carissa, Jesse Edwards, and Raekwon Battle have faced lots of adversity this year and are looking to change things full swing by having their first full lineup back this week. Carissa missed the first 9 games of the season because he accepted benefits while he was at the University of Arizona. Jesse Edwards was dealing with a right wrist injury that sidelined him for multiple weeks. Raekwon Battle had his NCAA waiver denied twice by the NCAA, but just got reinstated to play over the last couple weeks.
Chemistry's there. I mean, we've seen each other as much as we can. We all love each other, you know, thick and thin. It's just, you know, when it comes to basketball, you got to do your job. If you don't do your job, then you lose.
The Mountaineers will try to capitalize off their slow start to finish this season. Terrell Thompson, WVU Sports, Morgantown.